a species that has propelled itself to the top of the food chain, all thanks to the fire. But before I delve too deep into this topic, let's start at the very beginning. Is there anything that truly fulfills you, a quality, a hobby, and an activity that you dedicate yourself to day after day? What happens when you lose yourself completely in this passion? The tower. The tower shows us what I mean, but let me explain more in detail. As you wander through the world of Little Nightmares, you encounter monsters, one more gruesome than the next. Yet each of these monsters has a special quality that sets it apart. Let's start with the first monster we encounter in the Pearl City. No, not the Shadow Children or the souls of the children. We'll come to them later. First, we meet the bullies and the teacher. Children. Children are innocent, still learning about the world, still learning what's fair and unfair. But what is fair anyway? That's right, the right to survive, which is what our brains are wired for, like in chess. We have to plan and think, but is this also involved in children? I reckon so. The children sit through the lessons, listen to their teacher. This can be seen when the teacher, for example, sends the children to hunt Mono. But they also build traps and even proper barricades where the teacher usually can't go anymore. Unless she uses her ability to make her neck as long as possible to keep an eye on every student. And whoever doesn't listen feels it on their fingers. That was common in the schools back in the day, until it was eventually banned. Only these students and the teacher, judging by their clothes, seems to be from the 1920s, when it was still common. Oh well, the teacher seems to really enjoying suffering, but as everyone knows, not everything is apparent at first glance. The teacher enjoys playing the piano in her free time and even writes her own melodies. Excellento. So, she seems to be a human being with feelings and views somewhere, but still too influenced in her mind. But what does a ghost do in a porcelain doll? I said earlier that a child is so innocent, right? So you can play with it as you like with a doll that many played with as a child. Oh, the children got hurt while playing, so they have to go to the hospital or to the doctor. Who wasn't afraid of the doctor as a child? Well, it's justified, because whether you get healthy with this doctor is questionable. Just look at his patients. They seem to still be in treatment or waiting and wanting to finally get a skin graft, which is why they are probably hunting Mono. The patients are also just desperate, while the doctor simply doesn't treat them properly anymore. Because what would happen if all the patients, all the costumers, were doing well? Ah, yes, that's right. We wouldn't show up at the hospital anymore until we have the next emergency. And the doctor can go about his work, but doesn't even probably take care of his own health anymore. Is he actually only sacrificing himself to help others? Because he can't get any money or anything else of the value from the patients anymore. Are the doctor and the teacher truly evil in that sense? Or are they still clinging to that one thing free to hold onto their humanity, despite the actual consumption in the city? But who will help them anymore when they do their jobs and the rest goes with the flow? Or whether only consumes the flow anymore? How much do you really learn when you only look at the screen, only at the one channel that tells you what is right and what is wrong, that smears honey around your mouth and subtly tugs you into their opinion? Maybe the warriors should see a doctor too. I think the doctor will be happy about new costumers. And Otto takes care of the consultations. But what does all of this have to do with the tower? Well, who else controls everything in the city? Who controls the televisions and thus the behavior of the consumers? A society under control and only here and there isolated individuals who might become a bit dangerous to the tower. Like for example children. Children who think more, question more, are more sensitive than others. And here we come to the soul children who keep appearing over time. As soon as a television was nearby, children were abducted, as can be seen very nicely in the Nightmares comics. When we get to these places in the game, we see the souls of the children with their last emotion, that they radiated, their last desperate moments. They were trying to survive in a world they didn't choose. It is said that if a person couldn't die in peace, their spirit, their soul remains on earth and lingers until it can find peace. Is this perhaps also one of Mono's abilities? But this is a topic for another video.